What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and in this video we're going to take a look at precious metals prices and also take a look at the stock market and see which has been doing better so far this year in 2022. Alright, let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so we're not quite halfway through the year yet, but I think it's a good time to sort of take stock, so to speak, of how precious metals are doing and the stock market is doing. So if you've been investing in both or either one, this will be an interesting video for you. So first off, we're going to look at the stock market and assess its performance, and then we'll take a look at precious metals. Okay, so here we are over at marketwatch.com, and the first one we have pulled up here is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And you can see this is year to date. We've kind of been on this sort of steady decline. I mean, there's been a few ups and downs, and recently it's kind of popped up a smidge. In fact, today it's up over 2%. But if we look at the year to date numbers, Dow Jones is down over 12%. So pretty steady decline there. And let's look at the S&P 500. Here is the year to date for that. And again, today, it's up about 2%, but if we look year to date, it's down over 16%. So an even bigger decline there. And then if we go to the NASDAQ, I mean, it's just a slaughtering. It's down quite a bit. The NASDAQ is pretty tech heavy, and year to date, down over 26%. So pretty big losses there, no doubt. If we look at gold, this is the gold futures contract, I guess, and year to date for gold, it's actually up 1%. So, if at the start of the year you put 100 grand into, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, whatever, you'd definitely be losing money, but with gold, you'd actually be doing okay. You'd be up 1%. So, that's something to think about. Actually, if we go over to sdbullion.com, so here we're looking at the 1 year chart for gold, and you can see, yeah, it is up a little bit compared to the start of the year. Obviously, we had this nice little spike here, and then it's come down since then. But real quick, I did want to mention they're still doing their 500 Silver Eagle giveaway. So you could win 500 ounces of silver. I'll put a link down below in the description if you want to check that out. But what I wanted to show you over here on their website is pretty cool. You can actually overlay the Dow Jones and S&P 500 and kind of look at their performance as compared to gold. And you can see, I mean, there's no contest, right? Gold is absolutely crushing, both of those so far this year. And you can also overlay oil. So you can see oil is just obliterate. I mean, oil is crazy, right? Look at that, 110 for a barrel. Pretty insane stuff right now. Obviously, we've got massive gas prices, etc. And then you can overlay the US dollar as well, and you can kind of see the performance there. The US dollar, as compared to other currencies, actually hasn't been doing that bad so far this year, although we do have pretty crazy inflation. But we'll see how the rest of the year pans out. And then we can actually pop over to silver and take a look at silver's performance. Silver is a little bit more volatile than gold, and it actually is down a hair. So at the start of the year, it was around 23 bucks an ounce. Now it's down to around 22 bucks an ounce. So that's probably, a 4 or 5% drop in silver since the start of the year. But, silver, it does move around obviously more than gold, or at least the moves are bigger than gold's moves. But, if we overlay, again, Dow Jones and S&P 500, silver's obviously doing better than them. So, that's one way to look at it as well. If you're investing in precious metals, you should be diversifying amongst the precious metals, buying gold and buying silver. So, you'd be doing a little bit better than if you had just bought silver. But again, when you buy precious metals, these changes month to month or day to day are not a huge deal. Typically, you're looking at long-term wealth storage. So, the price action that's gone on so far this year, while it may be at this point, slightly down for silver, still overall, I would rather be holding silver than dollars. And certainly I'd rather have my money in precious metals than in the stock market right now, because the stock market's been going down quite a bit. And, one could say, sure, buy the dip. But, have we reached the bottom? I certainly don't think so. This Kitco News article that recently came out, the headline is Gold's Big $1,800 Test on the radar next week as stocks' steep sell-off intensifies. That is hard to say. Stocks' steep sell-off. Very difficult. But anyway, it's sort of talking about some things that are coming up this week, which, I'll mention. But let's read this first part here. It says, with the U.S. stock market still at risk, should gold be trading higher? Analysts see next week as an important test for gold as markets debate the effects of the Federal Reserve's oversized hikes. Gold is ending the week with its first weekly gain in 5 weeks as the precious metal finally saw renewed safe haven demand on concerns over inflation and economic growth. And then it talks about June COMEX gold futures, last trading at 1841, up 1.8% on the week. Going into next week, the steep sell-off in equity space might not be over, as the S&P 500 is now 20% below its all-time highs posted in January. During the last few weeks, we saw the stock market selling off and gold going along with it. But then we got a short-term peak in Treasury yields, which opened the door for gold to behave as a safe haven. Onda senior market analyst Edward Moya told Kitco News, the U.S. stock market is still at risk. We could see one last major plunge, and we'll probably see gold's safe haven properties being tested once more. Selling exhaustion should be settling soon. So yeah, we could see another big dip in the stock market potentially. Obviously, anything's possible. Some people are saying it could go much lower than it is right now. They're saying it's still in a bubble, etc. But yeah, I think it probably is in a bubble still, even though, we've seen obviously some pretty big dips in the last few weeks, etc. And then down here at the bottom, I wanted to mention, she puts in sort of some of the stuff that's happening this week that could affect precious metals prices. But ultimately, long term, when I buy precious metals, I'm not buying them to sell them next week, next month, even next year. I'm buying them to hold for decades. So, if the price goes up $1 in silver or down $1 in silver, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to be buying either way. So there you have it. Year to date, precious metals are beating out the stock market. But, they're beating a lot of other things as well. Cryptos, obviously, they're slaughtering. The dollar, they are beating. The dollar has been performing well compared to other currencies. Europe has seen higher inflation than we've seen here in the U.S. But the thing is, the dollar compared to itself is not doing very good. If you look at inflation, it's still at 8%. So year over year, the dollar is losing buying power. So precious metals, they are beating the dollar as well. Of all the things you could be investing in, obviously, I'm a huge supporter of putting money into precious metals. I've been doing it for years and years. And, whenever I convert my fiat currency into real money, it gives me a little bit of joy. I feel like I'm actually able to preserve my wealth no matter what happens, right? The dollar could collapse. It could go to zero, and I'll still have wealth moving forward. So, everyone should have some money in precious metals. How much, that obviously varies person to person. But I am curious what your thoughts are on, precious metals versus the stock market, how they've been doing so far, but also where do you think they're going to go from here for the rest of the year? Do you feel like the stock market is going to kind of level out? Will it go down more? Will it go up? And then also, what about precious metals prices? Are precious metals prices going to go down or go up for the rest of the year. So feel free to put your thoughts and comments down below in the comments section. I do want to say a massive thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.